What if I was the protagonist of the Pokemon anime? That's what we'll be discussing in this video as we jump into part 4 of Pokemon Prospect, Kanto Outset. After finishing at Indigo Academy, Hunter and Arum leave Viridian City to catch some Pokemon. They end up running into a Mankey and a Nidoran, but sadly fail in catching both of them. But this is when we run into Ace, who makes fun of them for not being able to catch anything. He tells Hunter that he heard about the incident at Indigo Academy, where him and that idiot Hayasuka had to work together to take down Team Rocket, and says that if he was there, he would have dealt with it instantly on his own. Hunter then decides to call Ace out, challenging him to a 2-on-2 Pokemon battle. Ace gladly accepts and says that this will be a walk in the park. The battle starts off with Hunter sending out Pidgey and Ace sending out Porygon. They both land many good hits on each other, with Porygon's Thunder Shock and Pidgey's Gust and Quick Attack, but Hunter's Pidgey ends up taking out Porygon. So then Ace sends in Squirtle. Squirtle quickly takes out Pidgey with Tackle, now making this a 1-on-1. Charmander versus Squirtle. The two battle as hard as they can, with Charmander's Scratch and Ember attacks and Squirtle's Tackle and Water Gun attacks. But Squirtle lands a direct Water Gun on Charmander, and as it is just about to lose, the flame on the end of its tail grows, and Charmander ends up using Flamethrower, doing good damage to Squirtle, but ends up falling unconscious, leaving Charmander unable to battle and making Ace the winner. Ace laughs at the fact that Charmander lost to its own attack, and tells Hunter that they didn't do half bad, but they have a long way to go to keep up with him, and he decides to leave. After healing up at the Pokemon Center, Hunter thanks Charmander and Pidgey for their great effort against Ace in the battle, and says that next time they'll win. Later on, Hunter and Arum decide to move through Viridian Forest. This is where Arum makes her first capture, being a wild Caterpie. And throughout some time going through the forest, Arum's Caterpie ends up evolving into Metapod, and then after that, evolving into Butterfree. Then later on, Hunter then makes his next capture, being a wild Pikachu. We then cut to a trainer from the Hoenn region named Kyle getting off a bus at the north end of Pewter City. He came to Kanto to learn more about Pokemon in different regions after learning lots throughout Hoenn under his mentor, Professor Birch. He goes into the Pewter Museum of Science to do some research on some fossil Pokemon. Later on, Hunter and Arum go to the Pewter City gym, but see that it is closed due to the gym leader helping out at the museum for the day. So the two decide to go to the museum to see some fossils and meet with the gym leader. There turns out to be an issue with Team Rocket trying to steal the fossils from the museum. Arum sees the Team Rocket grunts and is completely frozen in fear and runs away. Hunter catches eye to this and decides to battle Team Rocket. As more grunts come out and outnumber Hunter, the trainer Kale and another trainer join in to help out. The other trainer just happens to be the gym leader Brock. Hunter sends out Charmander, Kale sends out Gligar, and Brock sends out Onix. The three defeat the Team Rocket grunts, but Hunter's Charmander was poisoned and weakened in the process. Then suddenly, this is where a Team Rocket executive comes in, calling the grunts weaklings for losing to some random trainers. Hunter steps in, telling the executive that he's not just some random trainer, and that he's going to be the world's greatest trainer. And even Charmander in his weak state cries out, backing Hunter's statement. The executive calls him and Charmander weaklings, so Hunter challenges him to a battle. The executive laughs and accepts, introducing himself as Silver. He tells Hunter that he'll put him in his place. Hunter knows that Charmander can't battle in its current condition, so he calls on Pidgey as Silver calls on Nidorino. Hunter's Pidgey becomes very angry and ready for battle, and it turns out the Pokemon that poisoned Pidgey when Hunter first ran into it was Silver's Nidorino. Hunter is furious after realizing this, and Pidgey goes for some strong Gust attacks and fast Quick attacks, but Nidorino is just too strong, using Horn Attack, Double Kick, and Poison Sting. As Pidgey is just about to be out for the count, a bright light comes from it, and it evolves into Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto learns Wing Attack and puts up a much better fight, but still loses in the end. Silver tells them to stay out of Team Rocket's way, and leaves. Later on, Hunter, Kale, Arum, and Brock are all at the Pokemon Center. Hunter asks Arum about her reaction to Team Rocket, and she says she doesn't want to talk about it. So, the group happily respects it and leaves it at that. Brock then commends Hunter for standing up to Team Rocket like that, and tells him to train hard and that he'll be waiting for him to challenge him at his gym. Hunter and Arum then take the time to get to know Kale, and Hunter tells Kale how he appreciates his help against Team Rocket, and tells him how awesome his Gligar did. They then all decide to train together to help Hunter get ready for his gym battle. The training is going well, but Kale points out that all of Hunter's Pokemon are at a disadvantage against Brock. and suggests that Hunter teaches a fighting type move to Charmander to help him win. Charmander tries breaking some rocks to learn Rock Smash, and the other Pokemon are cheering him on, but has no luck in pulling it off after many attempts. A trainer walking by sees this and checks out what's going on, and it turns out to be Brawly. Hunter greets Brawly and introduces Kale and Aram to him. Brawly tells Hunter that he'd be happy to help him train to learn a fighting type move, since he trains fighting type Pokemon. So Charmander and Hunter happily accept. Brawly sends out his Makuhita to help out, and after many attempts, Charmander is getting close but can't seem to pull it off. Hunter decides he'll find a different way to defeat Brock, and the group says they'll watch and support him in his match, and for him to give it his all. The next day arrives, and Hunter goes to challenge Brock to a 2-on-2, with Brock sending out Geodude and Hunter sending out Charmander. Kale, Brawly, and Aram are surprised and tell him how it's a bad idea, but Hunter tells them not to worry. Charmander and Geodude go back and forth with tackle and scratch attacks, but Charmander is taking more damage. So Hunter calls back Charmander and pulls out Pidgeotto's Pokeball, until a wild Mankey jumps out in front of Hunter. Hunter then realizes that it's the same Mankey that he failed to catch from before, and turns out it wants to battle alongside Hunter. Everyone is shocked, but Brock allows it. Mankey is impressively following Hunter's commands and takes Geodude down with a low kick. Brock then sends in Onix. Mankey does some good damage with low kick before being taken out. Hunter thanks Mankey for the huge help and tells him to watch him and Charmander take it from there, leaving Hunter down to Charmander. Charmander and Onix fight hard against each other, with Onix using Rock Tomb and Tackle, and Charmander using Flamethrower and Scratch. Charmander is running out of energy. Onix goes for the final tackle attack, and Hunter tells Charmander to give it everything he has, using Rock Smash. Charmander lets out a loud cry, and goes for the attack with all of its might, and ends up learning a new move, Brick Break, overpowering and taking down Onix. This then awards Hunter with his very first gym badge, the Boulder Badge. Brock congratulates Hunter, and says he's impressed that his Pokemon's powerful attacks overcame their rock-hard defense. They all go back to the Pokemon Center, and after Charmander and Mankey are healed, Hunter thanks Mankey for the help and offers it a place on his team, leading to him catching Mankey. Kale, Aram, and Brawly congratulate Hunter on his new capture. Hunter then asks them what's next for all of them on their journeys. Aram says she is going to grow with her Bulbasaur so they can open up a daycare one day where all Pokemon will be welcome. And Brawly says that he is going to train to become the world's greatest fighting type trainer, and that he is going to train hard to defeat the Kanto Elite Four member, Bruno. And Kale says that he is going to travel around the world to become the world's greatest Pokemon researcher. And Hunter says that him and Charmander are going to become much stronger to defeat his rival Ace, and then one day become the world's greatest trainer. With all of them having such great goals in mind, they then decide to travel together. And this is what kicks off our adventure through the Kanto region, with Hunter, Aram, Kale, and Brawly. What challenges and adventures will our heroes face? There's only one way to find out, as the journey continues.